the pre-show before the free show.
Extremely back.
We are the most back.
We are as back as we've ever been. Hello, everybody. Welcome into the pre-show before the free show. I'm Greg. That's Ashley. A lot to get to on today's program. But first, we have to use this time here in the pre-show, this valuable, special, you got me? Mm-hmm. This valuable, special time. We have to use it wisely. Because there's an important question on the internet. Roll that beautiful bean footage.
Could you win the Masters tournament if every other golfer is hitting from the tees and your ball starts on the green, but the farthest spot on the green away from the pin? So some of those greens, that could be 100, 150 feet. But all you have to do is putt. That's all you're doing. Everybody else has to play regular golf, and all you have to do is putt. Could you win the Masters? Could you putt your way, just putt your way to a Masters victory? I'd like to think that I could. But the answer is probably no. And that demonstrates just how good these guys are. Because some of those I would probably 5, 6, 7 putt on those greens because they're really hard greens. And I think if I was just putting, at Augusta, I don't think I could do it. I don't think that I could do it. Curious what everybody else thinks.
Okay, so it's a fair question. Thank you for asking that, internet user. Okay, so as you know, I'm Mr. Masters. My pick, we didn't follow up on this. We didn't have follow-up Friday on this.
Yeah, your pick was wrong.
Boy, you were sweating bullets, though.
I was sweating bullets.
Because my boy Ludwig Aberg came in second.
Well, and the thing that stunk the most about it for me was that I, really wanted to root for him because, Texas Tech guy, young, he had an incredible
He's
showing.
like an exciting young golfer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It made it exciting to see someone playing that good in that high level of a golf tournament. But I couldn't. Yeah. I could not root for him.
Right.
Because of you. So I'm sorry, Ludwig. You can blame him.
Anyway, so it's a good question for me, Mr. Masters, and you, Masters fan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's how this works.
How this goes. Okay, so I crunched the numbers. So do you remember? So the winner of the Masters this year was
Scotty Scheffler.
Do you remember what he shot? It's okay. That's not like a heat check.
I don't think so. I think he had a 69 on the final round.
Nice. He shot 11 under for the tournament.
Oh, the whole tournament.
Yeah, the whole tournament. He finished at 11 under. He won by 4 strokes. Shot 11 under. Now, I looked over the last 13 tournaments, okay? And the average score is 11 and a half under par, okay? Now, the median and the mode is 10.
Okay.
Because, for example, I don't know if you remember in 2020, Dustin Johnson won, and he shot 20 under.
Yeah, it was insane.
It was so you'll have those outliers every once in a while.
Yeah.
But are you comfortable sitting here as two people who just love the Masters and we understand the Masters
Let's not get crazy
so much?
here.
Are you comfortable saying 11 under par probably wins the Masters?
Yeah.
Is that fair? Most years?
Yeah, I would say most years. That's right.
So we're going to aim for 11 under par.
Because realistically, you're probably going into the final day around a 5-6, and then someone's got to pull away.
If you shoot 11 under par, you're probably winning the green jacket.
Yeah.
That'd mean that you need to shoot. If you shoot a 69 each day, that'd be really nice.
Nice.
That'd be super nice if you shot a 69 each day. Okay, it's par 72. You shoot that. If you shoot a 69 each day, it'd be very nice. You'd actually finish 12 under par, and I think we all agree that'd be enough.
Yes.
That means 3.8 shots per hole. Okay?
Good God.
3.8 shots per hole, which means you can 4-putt more than you can 3-putt. Okay?
Yeah.
You can 4-putt. You need to average less than 4, but a 4-putt's not a killer. 4-putt's put that in the bank and move on to the next one.
Yeah.
I think the answer is probably no.
Yeah. As a person who has been to that course, and I was already in love with that course before I even went there. I already could tell, this course is different. when you get there, and it's the elevation that is just astonishing.
Of the greens.
Of everything, but especially the greens. The elevation of the greens is just incredible. I think the only way that you would be able to even potentially be able to do it would be you would need to know, like a year prior, you would need to know what the pin location for every single day was going to be so that you could study exactly the slopes of those greens. Like, that's the only possible way, and that's like a year, and I still don't know if you could do it. But if you knew the exact pin location of every green for every single day,
and you just studied it, I feel like that's the only, because then you've got to go out and try and find simulations of that, and you're not going to be able to find it. Correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, I know this, of course, because I'm Mr. Masters, but like, when people talk about the difficulty of playing at Augusta, it's not the only difficult thing, but the thing that people talk about is the greens.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, the greens are the crazy part of it.
Right, and that's why it's funny, because for just like a normal golf viewer, you'll be like, oh, okay, he hit a shot onto the green, but look how far he still has to go. And it's like, no, that was done very much on purpose, because you have to set yourself up, because if you miss even by an inch, that thing's rolling 50 yards back the other way.
I think 4 putts is a lot of putts, Pickle.
Yeah, but I mean, at some point in time, you're putting from 150 yards out, like,
yeah, you're putting for
150 feet out. Like, that's a lot.
Yeah. I think the answer is probably no. Yeah. I think I can get close.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say that. If you've got 4 shots on all of the greens, there are some that you can cash. Yeah. You can cash in, especially if you've studied the altitude and all of the different things.
So are you going with no?
I'm going with no. I think I would be 2 in all of standing on the green that I would not be able to focus.
See, I wouldn't have that worry.
I know. I would be interested to ask my dad this, because he calls it his red racing stripe putter. He has this new putter that he has for the first time in a long time. It's bright red. He's pretty good with it. So
he's a good putter.
Yeah, now with his red elite racing stripe putter, or whatever he says.
He's got the right tools in his toolbox, is what you're saying.
Yeah. But I would like to think that I could get somewhere close. I don't know if I could win it, but if I had 4 shots on every green, I would like to think that I could make up some shots every now and then.
You could 4-putt your way to victory.
Yeah.
Like, basically, and then like hit a couple threes and you win.
Yeah. The biggest thing is you just have to be the key to success is just keep it on the green.
Yeah.
Like, because the moment that you go off the green,
you're toast.
You're toast. You're not getting it back up in a good number of shots. As long as you can keep it on the green, I would aim for like 3 shots. A 3-putt would be like ideal on every single.
Oh yeah,
hole.
If you 3-putt it every hole, you're gonna run away with it.
Yeah. But the biggest thing is at least once or twice you're going to get completely lost off the green, and it's going to take 8 shots to get it back up.
It seems to me the biggest thing is like you can't just overshoot it.
Yeah.
Like if you baby step it all the way up, that's probably the best way to go.
Yeah, you're definitely playing by like thirds. Like you need to split your shot into thirds and be like, I'm just going to get it here, here, and here. Because if you overshoot it,
you're toast.
You're toast. If you're off the green, you're toast.
Anyway, thank you, internet user, for providing today's pre-show. Hit the theme, Expo. Yes, y'all! From the brand new Dave Campbell's Texas Football Mothership here in beautiful, scenic, crime-free Lewisville, Texas. It is Texas football today, your Texas football blanket fort. My name is Greg Tepper. I'm the managing editor of Dave Campbell's Texas Football and TexasFootball.com. Thank you for spending part of your day with us, whether you're watching us live at TexasFootball.com, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, etc., or you're listening to us on the podcast, which you can subscribe to on the podcast vendor of your choice. Either way, thank you for doing your part to support your local mediocre internet show. I am sitting over there in her in her palatial control room.
Mm-hmm.
Separated from me.
Thank God.
She is the Duchess of the Dorks, Miss 305. They call her Gizmo. It's Ashley Pickle.
Howdy, friends.
I'm going to make Gizmo stick.
Oh, no, someone already put, TJ Hudson put in the comments, and this is one of those things that, like, if it's your first time here and you're watching on YouTube, it says, howdy, Gizmo and Mr. Masters.
Yeah, this is a perfect example now of, like, our show. I feel like we have to reset the show for people every once in a while. Like one day during the season or like during the off season, we should be like, all right, we're going to explain all the bits. It's just one day of bits. We're going to explain everything.
Here's your bit explanation
from the beginning. Today is Monday, April 29th, 2024. It is 213 days until Thanksgiving. Happy 91st birthday. Do you know who turns 91 today?
I don't. My friend Alexis turns an age today, but it's not 91. Happy birthday, Alexis.
Well, happy birthday to Alexis and also to Willie Nelson.
Oh, let's go. What a good birthday to share.
Happy birthday to Willie Nelson.
I love Mr. Willie.
Of Abbott, Texas. Go Panthers.
I don't think I realized Willie was from Abbott.
He played football for Abbott.
How about that?
Mm-hmm.
So you're telling me that theoretically you could get Willie Nelson and Coach Crawford in the town at the same time? Mm-hmm. That's big doings.
You know what? This is a real miss on my part because I didn't realize today was Willie's birthday. I should have pulled that video of Dave Campbell at DKR's birthday party where he's sitting next to Lee Corso. He and Reebler are sitting next to Lee Corso on the couch, and Willie Nelson's just sitting in the middle of the floor, like just playing.
That's just so awesome.
It's like, what a life to lead.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And here I am sitting in a control room across from you.
Treasures for everybody. It's episode 1762, right? Three. Almost. It was very close. Excuse me. Oh, excuse me. Oh my gosh.
God.
Oh.
Never mind. That was all that 1763 had to write. It's done.
On today's show, folks, we got headlines from across the state, including Texas makes a splash in the NFL draft and the transfer portal rolls on. And then back half of the show, we're going to be joined by the head coach of the San Antonio Southwest Dragons. Coach Alex Franco will join us, coming off of a really nice year. Their most wins, I think, since 2017, 2016.
Yeah, that rocks.
Had a really nice year last year. We'll talk with Coach Franco. We got really high hopes for them coming up in 2024. We'll talk with him coming up here at the back half of the program if you stick around with us, your internet friends. Do we have first four through the door?
We sure do. It was jersey number 69, nice. TJ Hudson, Joey Hill, and Daniel Agnew. Welcome in, fellas.
Welcome in, friends. We do appreciate you spending a little bit of your day with us, and we start today with some headlines from across the state. We got headlines, right?
Oh, I forgot that you made an intro for that.
No, I did make an intro for that.
I think this is the newest bit, is how long can I go without playing the headlines?
Because here's the other thing. I can't see program right now.
I know.
So it's like I'm kind of flying blind.
I was like, the graphics up. What is he doing?
Let's try again. Let's get to some headlines from across the state. Don't play the intro.
There is no intro.
Great, fantastic. All
Fair
right.
enough. Poof, it doesn't exist.
Can't help you. Let's start with the NFL draft. That, of course, is what everybody in the football world was talking about this weekend. The NFL draft has come, it has gone, and the state of Texas once again had a big role to play in it. If you take a look at TexasFootball.com, we've got a running list, a tracker of all the players with Texas ties, whether they played college or high school in Texas, who were drafted. Do you know, Pickle, how many players who played Texas high school football were drafted?
I do not.
The answer is 24.
Okay.
24, second in the nation behind Florida. Florida always puts out the most. Florida put out 30, and Texas came in second with 24. Do you know, Pickle, this is just this fun fact time.
Okay, fun facts.
Do you know
we got fun facts.
Which Texas high school had multiple draft picks this year?
I don't.
The answer is Frisco Lone Star.
That would not have been my guess.
Jalen Ford went in the fifth round, 175th overall to the New Orleans Saints. And then in the seventh round, Trey Taylor, the safety, got drafted by the Raiders. So yes, there were multiple Frisco Lone Star players who were drafted.
I'm sure Jeff Rayburn and company were pumped.
Oh yeah, it was a grand total of 24 players from 23 high schools. There were 3 players with Texas ties taken in the first round. The first one, number 16 overall, Byron Murphy, the defensive tackle from DeSoto, and then of course from Texas, went number 16 overall to the Seattle Seahawks. That was not necessarily surprising. I think that was the one everybody said that's going to be the first Texan off the board.
Yeah.
It just kind of depended on where he was going to get. And he had, I want to say, it was our friend Joe Hoyt at Lone Star Live who had tweeted out. He said that he had said he knows he's not getting past 16. And sure enough, 16 came. And he was taken off board. 12 picks later, Kansas City took Xavier Worthy. I believe they traded up to get him. They traded with the Bills. So the Bills allowed them to go and draft the fastest player in the draft.
Yeah, great job, Buffalo.
Certainly a choice by the Bills, who were eliminated by the Chiefs. And then the next pick, we were on a heater. Number 29 overall to Ashley Pickles, Dallas Cowboys.
Yeet.
Tyler Guyton, the offensive tackle from Oklahoma via TCU, and more importantly, Manor High School. The Manor Mustangs get on the board as Tyler Guyton is a first-round draft pick.
Which makes me happy because Ish is from Manor 1, but Ish can't stand the Cowboys. So it was a good checks and balances situation.
Okay, good. Yeah, it's a little yay boo.
Yeah,
there
exactly.
for Ish. That works.
Yeah, he made sure to leave Dallas Cowboy off most of the graphic.
Other notable draft picks. There were, let's see, is that 7? There were 7 players with Texas ties taken in the second round. Jalen Polk out of Lufkin was taken 37th overall. Next, Tavondre Sweat from Huntsville in Texas went to the Tennessee Titans. Edgerrin Cooper from Texas A&M got drafted by the Packers. Jonathan Brooks, former Mr. Texas Football Player of the Year, got drafted 46th overall by the Carolina Panthers. Of course, he from Hallettsville. Adonai Mitchell from Fort Bend Ridgepoint and from Texas got drafted 52nd. Patrick Paul from Jersey Village and the University of Houston went 55th overall to the Miami Dolphins. And then Ennis Rakestraw Jr. out of Mizzou and from Duncanville got drafted 61st overall by the Detroit Lions.
We always said that this moment was coming quickly for me, but the Jonathan Brooks getting drafted just
made you feel old.
Oh, I felt so old.
Oh yeah,
I felt so old. That was when Lano got the Jonathan Brooks experience in the state semifinal. I'm still scarred.
Yeah, we were hosting, we were doing a show together. We mourned.
Yeah.
Your team getting Jonathan Brooks
Lano
in 2019. Another one that kind of got me was Jordan Whittington. Jordan Whittington got drafted 213th overall by the Rams, of course, from Cuero, and you just remember his legendary performance in that 2019 title game?
No, it's 2018.
2018 because
it was before I started. So that one didn't hit me as hard.
Yeah.
The Jonathan Brooks one, obviously, Jonathan Brooks is a lot younger than
obviously he's class of
Whittington
2021.
So.
And now he's going to make a lot of money playing football.
Yeah.
So
I'm happy for him.
Anyway, there you go. You can see everyone who was drafted at TexasFootball.com. Let's roll on, stay in the college football ranks for a moment, and talk a little bit about the transfer portal, which continues to roll. There are a couple of big things that came down the transfer portal. The biggest one, I would say, the Mountain. Not Greg Powers.
Not our Mountain.
Not our Mountain.
The original Mountain.
The OG Mountain.
Who then inspired our Mountain.
Texas Football Today's own Bryce Foster, the Texas A&M center, has entered the transfer portal. Bryce Foster was a DCTF 4-star, and I know in talking with Greg Powers, flirting with 5-star status. He was a big-time actually, no, we've got him listed as a former 5-star. Maybe he was 5-star.
Yeah, he was.
Big-time prospect, just one of the strongest players you'd ever seen. Came out of Katy Taylor. He has entered the transfer portal. It's out of Texas A&M. It's going to become a very... telling his story is going to be interesting because you go back to his freshman year, and he was a freshman All-American. He was spectacular at center for Texas A&M, and you were thinking, all right, this guy is you just pencil him in. Mm-hmm. After that, he's dealt with a lot of injuries. He's been bit by the injury bug, something fierce. He's also, I don't know how much you chalk up to injury, how much you chalk up to just the play getting better on the field, stuff like that. He never quite measured back up to that freshman All-American status. But now with the spring game come and gone, Bryce Foster, who was still penciled in to be their starting center, is entering the transfer portal. he just kind of like, again, he had a season-ending injury in 2022, and then it cost him 5 games in 2023, and he just never really. And then the other thing is that A&M recently added a Utah transfer, Koli Faiu, F-A-A-I-U.
You.
Right.
That's a lot of vowels.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's an illegal use of a vowel.
Yeah.
But they added him.
15-yard penalty on the vowels.
And he's expected to be the starting center now. And so I wonder if someone along the lines, whether it was Bryce Foster, kind of indicated to them that he would like a change of venue, or A&M went out and nabbed this guy and he saw the writing on the wall. And whatever the case may be, Bryce Foster is in the transfer portal.
Does Bryce Foster still have his eye? Do we know if he still has his eyes set on the Olympics? Because remember, he was the incredible shot putter.
He still is.
Okay.
He's still shot putter and
discus.
discus.
Yeah.
Shot and discus.
As he had big talks in high school about wanting to, or about like chasing the dream of going to the Olympics.
I would imagine that's still in play.
Yeah.
But obviously, I think the injuries, because it was a knee injury, I think, that cost him in 2022,
Yeah,
and
that's
obviously
crucial.
that hurts
Yeah.
for shot and disc. So in any case, Bryce Foster is in the transfer portal. You can see all the transfer portal movers and shakers in TexasFootball.com if you go check out there. Finally, a couple of late Texas high school football coaching changes. This is coming down from our own Matt Stepp at Dave Campbell's Texas Football and TexasFootball.com. Godley is looking for a head coach. As Curtis Lowry is stepping down after 5 seasons. He led them to the playoffs 4 out of the last 5 jobs. He's a Stephenville product. He came, if you remember, he left Levelland to go take over there at Godley. Did really well there in those 5 years, including a run to the regional semifinals in 2022. But this was he has stepped down, so Godley is looking for a new head coach. Orr City has made a hire. Jeremy Kubiak, the former Tatum offensive coordinator, is going to be the next head coach for Orr City. He's been in East Texas the last 14 seasons, last 2 as the offensive coordinator there at Tatum. So before that he was Wascom's offensive coordinator, part of 2 state championship titles with guys like Junebug Johnson.
Yeah.
So in any case, those are some headlines from across the state of Texas. We've got you covered every step of the way at TexasFootball.com. We are Texas Football Today. We're here every weekday at noon on TexasFootball.com, talking football in the Lone Star State. You can follow us on Twitter at DCTF, like us on Facebook, Facebook.com/Dave Campbell's. Also on Instagram, Instagram.com/Dave Campbell's, and of course, see us at TexasFootball.com. I hope you'll consider going to TexasFootball.com/subscribe to become a Dave Campbell's Texas Football subscriber. I was up late all weekend working on the 2024 summer edition of Dave Campbell's Texas Football, which you can get mailed to you before it hits newsstands if you become a Dave Campbell's Texas Football subscriber. Don't let my death be in vain. Go to TexasFootball.com/subscribe. Coming up here in just a moment, we'll be joined by the head coach of the San Antonio Southwest Dragons, Coach Alex Franco, will join us live, but first a word from these value partners.
I feel like bustin' loose, bustin' loose, come on. Get on up. Oh yeah, get on up. When you wanna sing, bust it loose, baby, do your thing. Talking about bust it loose, yeah.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Potter, Executive Director of Be Well Texas. Too many people are struggling alone these days, and alcohol and drug deaths are increasing. We started Be Well Texas to offer high-quality, science-based addiction treatment and recovery services anywhere, even at home. We provide compassionate, caring support virtually or in person. In many cases, there is no cost for treatment if you don't have insurance. Really. Welcome to Be Well Texas. We're glad you're here.
Wing is the largest residential drone delivery provider in the world, delivering to your home in less than 30 minutes. Order using an app just like other popular delivery services, and Wing's automated drone takes care of the rest. It's fast, safe, and sustainable, and it's now delivering to parts of Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas. You can learn more at wing.com/TexasFootball. Again, that's wing.com/TexasFootball.
Born and bred in Texas hits a little different, as it should. Texans love doing business with fellow Texans. VCR now takes its Texas roots as seriously as its many partnerships with schools and universities around the state. It's also why we're so proud to promote our brand in the pages of the Texas Bible, Dave Campbell's Texas Football, and on the airwaves of Texas Football Today. Driven by producing quality broadcast video, state-of-the-art audio, and LED video scoreboards at affordable prices, VCR Now makes sure to listen to your needs in its athletic department before recommending the next best steps. Building great products is our business, and it's our focus on building meaningful, long-term partnerships with our clients that sets us apart. From our 24/7, 365-day help desk, the training lab in our hometown of Red Oak, or our sports marketing business plan that puts money back in the hands of our athletic departments we support, VCR Now is built to last. Reach out to us today at info@vcrnow.com or by calling 855-GO-VCR-NOW. Again, that's info@vcrnow.com or by calling 855-GO-VCR-NOW.
Back here on Texas Football Today, careening towards the 2024 Texas high school football season. Pickle, let's go to the hotline. And we are pleased to be joined by the head coach of the San Antonio Southwest Dragons, the team we've got very high hopes for heading into the 2024 season. We're pleased to be joined by Coach Alex Franco. Coach, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. How are things in the Alamo City?
Oh, things are good. We just wrapped up Fiesta, had a good time, but enough with the Fiesta and party and time to get back to work.
You guys did plenty of work in 2023, a 9-2 season. Really impressive, the most wins for this program since you took over. I am curious, now that some time has passed on the 2023 season, how you assess what you guys were able to do in 2023.
Well, obviously, at the end of the day, you go off on wins and losses, and 9 times out of 11 times we were fortunate to get a win. But after going back and looking at the tape, we knew we were going to be talented, but we thought we were a little bit ahead of schedule. So then looking back on tape and how we played, we were very pleased because we were ahead of schedule. But, there's some things that we could definitely get better, at. And, we were really pleased with the effort.
You're entering now, your 5th season there as the head coach there. You took over before 2020. What a joy that must have been to just be named the head coach in January 2020. I'm curious now that you've been in this role for a while after being promoted from your defensive coordinator spot. What do you know maybe about this head coaching job at Southwest that you didn't know before you took over the big chair?
Well, it's all about relationships, and you can't do it all by yourself. You got to have good people around you, and the good people around you are a whole lot more important than what I do. And I've been fortunate enough to have great coordinators, great coaches that work for us. We have a great administration, and it's really all about everything being vertical aligned for kids. And I'm at a great place, and it really has very little to do with me, but the people that I work with every single day that make a difference. And you better learn how to delegate, because like I said early on, I wanted to do everything myself, and it's a whole lot better product now that I got a good balance of when to delegate, and when to do it yourself.
Talking with Alex Franco, the head coach of the San Antonio Southwest Dragons here on Texas Football Today. Get involved in the conversation, #TF Today. Coach, on to 2024. I don't want to. I hope people will still pick up a copy of the magazine, but we're putting this thing together, and we're pretty optimistic about what you guys bring back coming into 2024. Is there a feeling around the program right now that 2024 could be a really big year for the Dragons?
Well, it is, and it started when this group, we got them as freshmen, and we were like, whoa, these guys are really talented.
Mm-hmm.
They went 9-1 their freshman year. They went 10-0 their, JV year, and then last year, they went 9-2. And then a lot of guys, 9-2 at the varsity level, and a lot of these guys, it's going to be their 3rd year on varsity. So, there's hope every single year because you feel like you can put it together. But there's a little bit extra pep to our step because we really like the product that, on paper we're going to be able to put on the field.
One of the guys that I know you've got to be excited to bring back for another year is Tyson Dean, a guy who is one of the most dynamic defensive backs in the San Antonio area, if not the state. But then you add in what he does on the offensive side. This is a guy who's a complete dynamo. But you're the guy. The numbers are impressive. You're the guy who sees him every day in practice. What is it about Tyson Dean that really makes him special?
Well, Tyson, I argue when recruiters come by, I tell them that pound for pound, he's one of the better football players in the state,
Mm-hmm.
And I'll put him up against anything. But the difference with him is he feels like he can do anything. He wants to play defense. He wants to play offense. He wants to do special teams. You know, this kid, you know, he was All-State. He was our defensive MVP. You know, he won multiple All-State awards. And today we're doing, you know, defensive pursuit drill where we, you know, we call it the rabbit. And he's out there playing the rabbit, you know, and he's got nothing left to prove, but yet he's out there and willing to do all the little things that it takes to be great. And that's what separates him, is there's never a job too minimal for him to do. You ask him to block, he'll block. Tackle, catch, run, whatever. He's ready to do it. He's just a complete football player.
Alex Franco of San Antonio Southwest joining us. Coach, there's another guy on your team that's hard to take your eyes off, and it's Azarian Voss, who thank goodness goes by Z, because goodness gracious, that's tough. That's a mouthful. But Azarian Voss is a guy who was another kind of two-way star, plays on both sides of the ball, and makes a big impact on both sides of the ball. When it comes to Azarian Voss and Z Voss, what is it that sets him apart?
Well, you know, he's All-State on offense. He had, you know, 50 catches for close to 800 yards, 8 touchdowns, multiple touchdowns on special teams. But he was also named our MVP's most valuable defensive back. And again, you know, at Southwest, we play both ways, and we really do. And what separates him is he's willing to do, again, anything that helps the team. You know, go play defense, go play offense. And, you know, he really is a true two-way player, and he's explosive on both sides of the ball. You know, he high jumps over 6 feet in track. You know, he was our district champion high jumper. He's on a basketball team that wins 34-3 and contributes to that basketball team. So I think what separates him is just what a good overall, how much athletic talent he has. So, and like I said, he's willing to do whatever it takes for our football team.
Finally, Coach, of course, it was a realignment year, 14-5A Division I. The district number changes for you guys, but not a whole lot else changes, with the exception of adding in a team that played 3 rounds deep in 6A last year in John Jay. When you take a look at District 14-5A Division I, obviously a lot of runway between now and August, but I'm curious, you know, what you see when you take a look at your district.
Well, we really like our football team, but with that being said, you know, on paper it looks great, but you still got to go out there and play the game. The South Side has won our district 2 years in a row, and those are the only 2 ball games that we've dropped in district. So until we beat them, the district goes through them, you know, and much respect to Coach Locke and his staff and how they prepare and play. And then John Jay, you know, Coach Gutierrez, you know, I have a great relationship with him, and I know how hard his teams play and how well his teams are prepared. So, you know, we like our football team quite a bit, but it's going to be a battle in the district. And, you know, but those teams will make us better. If we're fortunate enough to get one of the 4 playoff seeds, then we're going to be well prepared, you know, and all our teams are going to be well prepared to represent our district in the playoffs because of the great battles and the great teams that are in our district.
He's Alex Franco. He's the head coach of the San Antonio Southwest Dragons. Coach, we sure appreciate your time. Congratulations again on a fantastic 2023 season, and looking forward to seeing what your Dragons do in 24.
Hey, thank you very much, and thanks for all that you do for our great game and, you know, everything you do for kids across the state of Texas. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks very much, Coach.
All righty, no problem.
There
Thank
he goes. Alex Franco, head coach of the San Antonio Southwest Dragons, joining us here at Texas Football Today. I am very bullish on them in 5AD1. So, spoiler alert. I'm writing the 5A preview right now for the magazine, and there are some teams at the top. I won't name names, but it rhymes with Bolito, that are going to be understandable.
Forney.
They moved to 6A. Pickle. Come on, pick it up. There are some teams at the top that are going to have to go through it, like that are going to start the year highly ranked. I'm not certain that this isn't the most wide open 5A's been in a while. And I mean that in both classifications, both divisions.
I mean,
5AD1
Smithson Valley
and 5AD2.
made it last year, too. We don't need to talk about necessarily the result of that game.
But yeah,
2-1-0 was represented for the first time in how long in a state championship?
I think there is an argument to be made that 5A is really wide open. And if it is wide open, then why not a team like Southwest, which has playmakers galore? Z Voss, we've talked about him on This Week in Recruiting. He's a big-time playmaker. Tyson Dean is a big-time playmaker. They have got dudes there at Southwest, and with, I think, 16 starters back. Yeah, 16 starters back, or 17 starters back from last year's team, which was a playoff team and came up short to Corpus Christi Veterans Memorial in the first round. that is a team that, I don't know, keep an eye on the Dragons. I'm very bullish on what they've got cooking in 2024. We appreciate Coach Alex Franco hopping on with us. Let's go over to Gizmo for America's second favorite segment. Final thoughts.
Wanted to point out on TexasFootball.com that it looks like our college staff is starting their best case, worst case scenarios for all of the FBS programs across the state of Texas. Those are always some of my most fun, to read articles throughout the year. So TexasFootball.com. Also, Dave Campbell's Texan Live, TexanLive.com. A ton of softball and baseball content coming up. The playoffs have started officially for both, so it's crossover week there. So, tune in. You're not going to want to miss it.
Yeah, tons of baseball right now on Texan Live, TexanLive.com. That comes as part of your Dave Campbell's Texas Football subscription. We don't ask you for extra money.
No.
There's we just give you
1,500 games.
You just get 1,500 games. It's the whole deal. It's going to do it for us. Thanks for spending a little bit of your day with us. Follow us on Twitter at DCTF. Like us on Facebook, Facebook.com/Dave Campbells. Follow us on Instagram, Instagram.com/Dave Campbells. And, of course, see us at TexasFootball.com. Thanks again to San Antonio Southwest head coach Alex Franco for being our guest. For Ashley Pickle, I'm Greg Tepper. Vince Young, please meet your Player of the Year trophy. We'll see you tomorrow on Texas Football Today.